Perfect. Welcome, everyone. It is Monday night at 7 p.m., at least here in Phoenix. And so what are we getting together for? As usual, Insights with Alicia, my favorite time of the week. So every week we gather to learn and connect, and I often say things and people always want to know more about it. They love the insight from the scientific psychic. There are so many things that I've experienced that have transformed my life that I love sharing these insights with everyone, not just my clients. What do we talk about on Monday nights? We talk about relationships, our behavior, so many life skills that will literally change your life, and all of the tools and ideas to support them. Let's not forget about the animals. We talk about them too. For those of you who don't know, I'm Alicia Sweezer, owner of Who Knew Healing. I am an intuitive life coach, animal communicator, psychic medium, intuitive mentor, and I provide healing and growth opportunities for people and animals. And for those of you listening as a podcast, welcome. And if you'd like the video version, please visit my YouTube channel under Alicia Sweezer, or even better yet, join us live on Monday nights. I would love, love, love to have you. And as always, thank you to everyone who's watching on Facebook. If you'd like to comment, please join us by the Zoom link, because I can't see the Facebook comments right now. So thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone who joins us every Monday. It is amazing. And hopefully my voice sounds okay. I was sickly last week, so hopefully it's not too bad tonight. And next week, there will not be an Insights with Alicia, which will be the 13th, I think. Yes, night before, I almost said Thanksgiving, night before Valentine's Day. It's not because of Valentine's Day that there won't be one. I just have some lots of stuff going on this week that's going to require more time and energy capacity. And I know we only get together here for 30 minutes, but it takes me between 10 and 15 hours every week to create all of this and produce it and write it in all of the forms. And it just takes that much time to create all this free content for everyone. And I will not have the capacity, I'm guessing, to do that this week. It may change, and then you'll see the events posted, but right now I'm thinking probably not. So, all right, let's get started. Hopefully you've got something to drink. I got my water because my voice might start to go halfway through. I think I covered everything. Was that? Yep. Okay. So tonight we are going to talk about confidence. So one of the main things that I get to help my clients with, and confidence isn't always what we think it is. Now, here is the funny thing. My friend Mary, the Seattle Mary, right? Because I have two that are friends named Mary that are gainers of each other. She's going to be really excited because she's been telling me to do this, or be like, how long? And I'm like, it's been a long time. So finally, the rest of the words came. And because her and I started this conversation a long time ago. So as I was saying, confidence isn't always what we think it is. And tonight I'm going to talk about confidence in two different ways. So first, where does confidence even come from? Ever catch yourself trying to be confident? It's exhausting. It requires so much energy to keep it up. That's the difference between doing something and being something. One's hard, one's easy. When confidence is our state of being, it exudes from us. This is the inner energy of confidence. This part of confidence comes from being in integrity with ourselves and being our authentic selves. What does that mean, you ask? Self-integrity is created when we are following our path, choosing the things, people, anything that are in alignment with us, making conscious choices, responding instead of reacting, and ultimately being responsible for ourselves and our lives. Now, you all know that I mean responsible as in the idea of being able to respond to our lives, not in the other way that we think about being responsible, as your parents may have said, or anyone else. So what that looks like is, if I want clean clothes to wear, I get to do the laundry, right? I get to be able to respond to my life that in the morning I have clothes because I was responsible and did the laundry. If I want my messages to be heard, right? I get to create a podcast, blog, live stream, all this good stuff. If I want to have an unconditionally loving relationship, I get to do the inner work that creates the opportunity for that to be a possibility. If I want a safe car to drive, I get to do the maintenance on the vehicle, right? Etc. So when we follow through and do the things the universe has led us to do, our self-integrity increases, which in turn increases our core self-confidence. In this respect, confidence is a product of integrity. Another way of saying it is that confidence is the manifestation of integrity. In my opinion, this is the fundamental piece that gets missed when people start to work, quote unquote, on their confidence. Most people will start with what thoughts they are having, what actions they're taking. If I could just get enough practice, then I would be confident. So here's my question. Does practice create confidence, or does it create something else? For example, if I wanted to learn to paint. Now, the more that I practice in paint, I will feel better about it because the unknown will become known, right? The unfamiliar will become familiar. I will become comfortable. So my question is being comfortable confident? Or is it just comfortable and we misperceive it as confidence? The manifestation of confidence can mean something different to everyone, right? The actions of confidence can mean different things. Get some clicking. What we're talking about here is the inner fundamental confidence that comes from being who you truly are by being in integrity. When we are being in self-integrity, we are not people-pleasing. We are not being codependent. We are not sacrificing, right? Oh, that's sacrificing. Oh my goodness, that is always such a thing. And for those of you who were with us last week, we talked about the sacrificing. Yes, we did. So in case you want to get caught up on any of that, watch last week's blog. So this creates an inner knowing that changes how we see ourselves, how we see this world, and how we move through this world. We start living from the inside out, meaning that we're not dependent on what others think of us to determine what we think of ourselves. We are not dependent on others' love or attention to determine if we are lovable. We already know we are. Now, I know some of you may be saying, oh, it can't be that easy. I didn't say it was easy. The inner growth to shift this can be very challenging. It is, however, simple. That's why you hear me constantly preach about being responsible for your happiness. Being in self-integrity is one way that we do that. Like I said, my voice might start to go. Okay, so here's an example from my own personal experience. The universe directs me to start a blog, right? That happened last spring. And I was like, what the hell? I had no idea that blogging was still a thing. You guys have heard me say I thought that was like so 90s. Had no idea how to start a blog, how to do it, what to write. Thank God for Google. How to put it on my website. Like there's so many pieces. And I know from my core inside that when I listen to my intuition, the universe, God, source, whatever you call it, and be in integrity with myself, it will work out. So I start down the road to blogging, which eventually led me to all of you here tonight and all of you listening to me, wherever you may be listening and watching. Woohoo! It's my favorite thing, right? So I am confident that I am confident in my intuition that if I follow the steps, it will work out. This is the confidence that exudes from us, right? That I'm talking about. I may sometimes still have doubt about how it will work out, right? All those details that us humans stress over, even me, that's where we get to practice. So now that we understand where confidence comes from, let's look at the manifestation of it and how we can navigate that with ease and some fun. Dang it, right? Ugh. Okay, so we have the misperception that confidence, or if you are confident, that everything is easy, that doubt or fear doesn't exist, that we are happy about every decision that we are making. Everything is crystal clear, and there are no uncomfortable feelings existing whatsoever. Guess what? That's a big freaking lie. And do you know why we believe this? Because the people who've decided what confidence looks like up till this point in time have perpetuated this illusion. That is why we think when we are having a hard time deciding something, we are not being confident. It's completely backward and has completely screwed us up. Then we doubt ourselves. and we judge ourselves, which only contributes to our belief that we are not confident. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Do you see this circle? It just gets us. Okay. So here's an example from one of my clients. As I was saying, her and I had chatted about this. She's given me permission to share. So about a year ago, I sent out an email to my email list with just a short blurb about confidence. It was kind of the beginning of this here. Basically, the part about self-integrity and confidence being a manifestation of that. And so, one of my friends, who was a client, wrote back and said she didn't have confidence in herself when it came to her dogs, Malcolm and Angus, right? You guys have heard me talk about those cute little boys. You want to see a picture of them? They're on my website, top of the animal page. They're the ones that come and visit and tell me all kinds of funny stories and visit when they want messages to be delivered to Mary if she's not listening. So Malcolm comes and tells on her. So they were getting up in age and she didn't believe she had confidence in making the end of life decisions for them. I completely relate to that. And she didn't want to have any regrets. I completely understand this. And that's why I love, it's such a privilege of what I get to do to help my animal clients when we're in this situation. I then offered her a different perspective, which was that she did have confidence in her intuition. She knew she didn't have clarity to make the decisions on her own about the boys. That's confident. She knew. She was like, I can't do this by myself. This is not what it's supposed to look like. That's confidence. She was confident in that she didn't know exactly how to proceed, how to move forward. Confidence isn't always having the answers. Confidence is knowing that you don't need to have all of the answers. As I said, we think confidence is this amazing feeling, or it's supposed to always be surrounded by something positive. Confidence isn't always easy. She knew she wanted more for the situation at hand. That was confidence. She followed her intuition and manifested someone, me, who could support her and guide her in this situation. She made choices that were in alignment with herself and what she wanted, even though it didn't always feel good or feel like she was being confident. This is the self-integrity, right? This is the foundation for confidence that I am talking about. You see how different that was? Not difference, goodness. When I explained to her this, it changed so many things for her. In her own words, she said, the different perspective you provided was profound. I had the old school, quote unquote, definition of confidence, but your words changed all of that for me. It made perfect sense. And it was exactly what I was experiencing. Woohoo! Score one for the paradigm shift. And so it's when we start to look at it differently like this, that we break it down. And like I said, we think it's this one sweeping motion, and I'm probably going to talk about that again. And it's not. She was confident every step of the way, even though the situation wasn't feeling good. So another client of mine was experiencing the same thing. He was out doing an obstacle course, and his body works differently than most other people. I can relate to that. And one of the things that I have been teaching him is how to listen to his body and to do what is a match for his body. So his original thoughts and self-judgments were, I can't do all of the activities because I'm not confident enough. When we really looked at the situation, he knew some of the activities weren't a match for him and his body. Not because he was afraid of the activity, although that is what he was originally thinking, but because it wasn't a match for his body. When I showed him his decision to say no to some of the obstacles was actually confidence, it changed everything for him. Confidence isn't always a yes answer. Sometimes saying no is what confidence looks like. So he was being in self-integrity by doing or not doing what was a match for his body. When he said to me, I just knew that wasn't going to feel good, I showed him that that was actually being confident. He knew. Our confidence can come from knowing. He was confident in saying yes or no. Although at the time he did not realize it because he was heaping self-judgment on himself and having all of the feelings that that self-judgment then created, right? And he was stuck in the loop. He was believing old lies that he should be able to do everything If he was just stronger, he would be able to do everything. If he had a body like everybody else, he would be able to do everything. If he would just fill in the blank, then he would be able to do everything. Then he would finally be confident. So remember how I talked about how backwards this is? We think confidence is the product of doing something. It's not. That's actually comfort, not confidence. What I was talking about earlier. Confidence comes from being authentically ourselves and choosing what's a match for us. When we do that and someone tries to question us, it doesn't even register. Our confidence creates decisions that are simply matter of fact. I'm not going to go do that obstacle. It's not a match for me. Done. End of discussion. We don't need to explain or defend our decision. That's where our need to prove kicks in. Remember, we talked about that a while ago, long time ago. There's a blog about it if you want to learn more. When we are in self-integrity, it changes the energy that comes from us. And it doesn't offer the invitation for someone else to offer an opinion or to judge us. They simply go, okay. And here's the thing. We're not doing this in an aggressive way, right? It just simply is. Remember, this is the difference between being and doing, or being and trying. Right at the beginning, I talked about, you ever notice the difference when you're trying to be confident and how exhausting that is versus being confident? As I said, always easy? No. Simple and powerful? Absolutely. I have been in situations where I was afraid about something, yet I was confident in the choice I was making. The fear comes from the need to control. Any other control freaks out there? Or recovering? I am a recovering control freak. I am, I swear. I knew the decision I was making was in alignment, and I was still afraid of how it was all going to work out. Remember, we can be confident and sometimes have other emotions too. That's the human part of us that we continually get to navigate. My favorite, not. So I hope that makes sense to everyone. And it offers a different perspective when you're not feeling confident. We get to go slow and break down each piece as these examples have shown, right? I love someone's writing in the chat that she's forever learning to stop controlling, right? That's such a human thing. And it's a practice, and we get so much better at it. Like I am 1,000 times better at it than I used to be. And then sometimes that how part, like we think we got to get in there and figure it all out. Our brains still kick in and get in the way. It's just what happens. Gets in the way. Okay. So for example, right, I'm feeling overwhelmed and not confident. So we ask ourselves, what are we believing? What am I believing? Where am I actually confident in this? I am confident in the first decision I'm making is a match. Because, right, we tend to look at the whole picture and we're like, oh, we get overwhelmed and then we think we're not confident. When actually it's like we go slow, we break it down, we look at the first thing in front of us. I have people who are always saying to me, what is that saying? You have to eat an elephant one bite at a time. Because I'm not a small step kind of person. It's just not how my stuff works. I am big step kind of girl. And it's not easy. I don't recommend it. And there are times as a practice that I learn to break, which is awesome, because then I get to teach this stuff. You break it down, but it's so easy to see the big cloud or the big problem or the big challenge or the big really cool thing, because it can be a fun thing like an obstacle course, and still it can mess with us and our confidence. And we get to break it down. So, right, I'm confident that the first decision I am making is a match. Then the next step, then the next step. Those of us who live by following our intuition are constantly saying to ourselves, this doesn't make any sense. I don't understand how this is going to get me what I want, or where I want to be, or where I'm going to go, because things are not linear. Believe me, I fucking hate that. It makes my science brain very unhappy. I would love for things to be very linear, and they are not. That is not how the world works at all. Not even close, not even like a little bit linear. So yet we are confident that choosing what's in alignment will get us there. People are constantly saying to us, what are you doing? And that doesn't make any sense. And we say, I know. I agree. I completely agree. It does not make any sense. And I'm going to do it anyway, because that's what I was led to do. I am confident in myself, my intuition, and the universe that someday, some way, it will create what I desire. Just laughing at myself of having some memories here. That doesn't mean that it is comfortable or that it doesn't come with all of the human emotions. Everything is included in this roller coaster we call life. It's an all-inclusive package. Yay. So, as I was saying, we think confidence is this one grand sweeping motion. It isn't. We've been made to believe that that's how it looks and how it should be. Confidence is actually every decision made along the way. And being in alignment with ourselves is what creates that core fundamental confidence, which comes from our self-integrity. Okay. I hope that was all helpful for you all tonight. I hope it made sense. And I know my friend Mary will be like, finally this one she's talked about, because it's been cooking for so long and now it's finally finished. I can't help it if the rest of the words are not there. Like, you guys know that the subjects, I don't pick them every week. It's like, okay, what are we going to talk about? And then I have to wait for the words to come. And sometimes they come the day before. Sometimes they come earlier in the week, which makes my human part feel very, very much better. She's actually here tonight, so she's cracking up and sending emojis in the chat. And because it is true, and it just comes up so often where, you know, we see people in this world, or we have people in our lives, or coworkers, or authority figures, right? We talked about that a couple of weeks ago, and they look so confident of like what we believe this illusion of confidence is. And the truth is there are a lot of people I know that everyone thinks are super confident, and they're very insecure. They do not feel confident in themselves, and they're winging it. But their illusion to the outside of the world projects what we believe confidence is. Now we know tonight, at least in my opinion, what confidence actually is. It's self-integrity. And then confidence just gets created. And it's so much easier because then you're being versus doing, and you're not trying to be confident. Oh, it's exhausting. Okay. So it was great to see you all Monday night. It was fabulous. As I said, there will not be one next week. Unless something changes, but I'm anticipating probably not. But I will be back the following week for sure. I hope you enjoyed yourself. Join me again 2 weeks from tonight. And as always, if there's people that you want to share this with, right, let's change the world with what confidence actually is, because I know there's a lot of people that are working from the old school definition of it. So share this with your friends. It'll be uploaded to YouTube tonight, the video under Alicia Sweezer. All these links are everywhere in the event listing and Facebook and my website, Who Knew Healing. And the podcast will be uploaded tonight also. So you can listen to that everywhere. Oh my gosh. I have the podcast everywhere now. So Spotify, Apple, Google, Amazon, iHeartRadio. It's one of those funny things where, you know, I listen to iHeartRadio when I'm on my phone, like if I'm at the gym or whatever. And never in a million years did I think that on my phone, listening, like I can pull it up and listen to myself. I don't, but I could. And to see your face like on your own phone on a thing, it's very surreal. It is very like, you know, I started this last year and never did I anticipate that this is where it was going to grow to, and it continues to keep on growing. So it's pretty funny that I'm like on my own phone. I'm like, I'm on the iHeart Radio app. So I do not listen to myself. It's very funny. I've chatted with this, I don't know, just chatty tonight. So we're going to keep talking. That why this whole thing is even more funny is one of my absolute things that I do not like is having my picture taken. It's just, I do not like it at all. And what's a video or a live stream? A really, really long picture. So when the universe was like, you're going to start doing this, I was like, okay. So here's what's funny though, is I can watch the videos because in the beginning I would watch them to make sure, like, did it look all right? That kind of stuff. And sometimes I still will, depending on if I have the time on Monday night. I don't edit them or anything, so I don't know why I'm watching them, but I can watch them. I cannot only listen to them. So to listen to them as a podcast, oh, I can't. I start to have a panic attack. It's the funniest thing to me. It's the exact same thing, right? But somehow without the visual, it stresses me out to no end. I know I've seen lots of actors who do interviews, and some of them watch themselves and some of them can't. They're like, oh God, no. It's like, I don't want to see myself. And so I relate to that. And it's just so intriguing to me that I can watch it, but I can't just listen. It's like there's this piece missing in it. I start to panic. It cracks me up. So thanks for listening to me go off on the side there, a little jaunt, a little walkabout. Yes, so everything will be loaded tonight. Share it with your friends so that they can actually know what confidence is and feel better about themselves. Thank you to everyone who's donated to my Cosmic Tip Jar. It allows me to create more free things like this. And if one feels led to do so, the links are in all the event listings. It's PayPal and Zelle. And as always, 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 if anything I talked about tonight makes you want to learn more, reach out, book a session, schedule your free discovery call. Let's see what we can create and change together, because this is the kind of stuff that we do. And what would it be like to be confident just as a state of being? It's just part of who you are. Not that you're trying in every situation that you're in and then judging yourself of why you're not. Let's change that. Reach out. Okay. I will see you all in a couple of weeks. I hope you have a fabulous week wherever you are. The weather has turned gorgeous here in Phoenix. I'm still a little chilly, but I know everyone else is very happy. We made it to 70. And I would definitely warmer than everyone else I know in other parts of the country. That is for sure. They're still being snowed on and freezing. So thank you all so much. It's such a pleasure and a privilege to be able to connect with all of you. And I will see you next time. Bye. Oh, all of my buttons are missing now because I had all of these extra little windows.